What's going on, everybody?
What's up?
It's CandL, Candle without the E.
Candle without the E. We're back again.
We're always back. It's the 20th episode. We're very, very, very
20.
excited for that. It's a good opportunity to kind of recap on some stuff we've done.
Maybe on some stuff we've forgotten.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows?
I wanted to tell you about this movie I watched. Okay, I downloaded Shudder, and it's like $5 a month, right? So I watched this movie the other night called Castle Freak.
Castle Freak, because Shudder is the Netflix for horror films.
Yeah, it's got a lot of really good ones.
Right.
Like it's got some Friday the 13th.
Leprechaun?
No,
Damn it.
dude, it didn't have half of what I wanted. Like I really thought Shudder would be the place that I have a collection of all the shit I
Right.
like, and it's like not even a quarter of what I like.
Right.
There's some Halloweens. It's like Halloween 4, 5, and 1. You know, Friday the 13th, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think. Like they just have a few. You know, and then
Well, I
they,
like the
they have,
Halloweens.
they have they have Devil's Rejects.
Mm-hmm.
3 from Hell on there. Like, it's pretty cool, but I was hoping for way more. Like, I would pay $10 a month for something that just has everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like every horror film. But I watched this movie called Castle Freak. It was so...
Castle Freak.
Have you ever heard of it?
No. Mm-mm.
You know the, like, Full Moon Pictures? The guys that did, like, Charles Band, he did the Puppet Masters and stuff.
Right.
That's the company that did it. It was directed by, I think, Stuart Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
And it had...
It has the guy from Puppet Masters in it.
well, no, it has the guy from Reanimator in it.
Oh.
I can't believe I forget his name. But he was in it. And basically, I'm not... you can't really, like... This isn't really like a spoiler alert because it's such an old movie. Like, if you
Right.
want to go see it. But I'm going
See
to...
it.
I want to break this movie down to you because I watched it and it psychologically fucked me up. And I've seen a lot of horror films.
Okay, I'm down.
Okay.
This is gonna get really dark.
Dude, the idea is there's it starts out with this old woman cutting bread and old sausage. And
Great start.
she puts it on a plate, and it's at this castle, and she goes down into this dungeon and, like, puts the plate down, opens the door, and, like, starts whipping this fucking, like, skinny, long-haired, you know, freak, a
Okay.
castle freak, right? And you don't understand what's going on. Then she dies of a heart attack, and this guy, his wife, and his daughter move into the castle because he inherits it.
Castle Freak.
Like, he doesn't know how he's related to them at all.
Right.
But backstory for this guy, he's an alcoholic, and he got into an accident. His daughter's blind, and he killed his son. Or at least his son wasn't found. Like, he flew out of the car, and they never found him, right?
Right.
So his wife's got, like, resentment. They're trying to put this... It's a story. He inherits the castle with the castle freak in the dungeon.
Mm-hmm. Not knowing that.
Not knowing that he's there, right?
Right.
And there's, like, this maid. But the thing is... This fucking movie, I can't. You got to go see it.
Is it like bugging you?
It is bugging me because I watched
That
it. I
says a
can't
lot
stop
about a
thinking
movie,
about
like,
it.
Like, is this gonna get really dark?
It's dark. It's dark and it's weird. Let me explain it to you,
All right.
okay?
All right.
I watched the whole thing. I love horror movies. This was a really good horror film, but it was very, like, it was really fucked up.
Kind of touched
It was
you,
imagery that fucked me up
right
about it. You know what I mean? Like, it was very Shakespearean horror, like kind of like Phantom of the Opera.
kind of Vincent Price type.
Yeah, castle shit. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Old school horror, but it was actually good effects and
House on a Hill.
the
Castle Freak.
the castle freaks down in the basement. This family moves in. They've got this, you know, his daughter's blind, and his wife and himself have resentment towards each other, and she don't like him. Like, he tries to have sex with her at one point in the movie, and she's like, I'm not, you know, they go through the whole thing of like, oh, you murdered our son because you're an alcoholic. I don't want to
Get off me, you fucking drunk.
Right. So he goes to a bar and gets drunk and meets
Mhm.
this woman, this, like, Hispanic lady, because it's in Mexico.
Is she a prostitute?
Yeah, you called it.
Oh,
Dude.
she's a prostitute.
He's drunk as fuck. She's hanging out with him, and he's like, "Oh, I know a place where we can go," and he takes her back to the castle, and he takes her down to the dungeon, and he's like, sucking on her titties and eating her out.
Oh god.
And then the castle freak is behind boxes watching.
He's like,
you know what I
"Is that a
mean?
prostitute?"
Breathing heavy,
Oh.
and so the guy does his thing. He fucks her and comes, and then he's like,
Jesus.
"Get out of here!"
Uh-huh.
And he's drinking, and he passes out. She takes off. She asks for money at first.
Holy shit.
But he drinks and passes out, and then the castle freak, he's got like a sheet wrapped around his head and
Right.
shit, and he picks up the bottle of booze, and she's like walking out of the castle. He throws her over his shoulder and takes her down into the dungeon where he was, right?
Uh-huh.
And he tries to give her the drink and shit, and she's like freaking out,
Prostitute
panicking and
potato
shit.
sack.
So what happens is so fucked up because it's a weird acting thing where I read the situation like as a prostitute, right?
Uh-huh.
She read the situation. She's like, I just want to get out of this.
Right.
So she's a prostitute. So she's like, I'll jerk this dude off, whatever.
If I'm gonna take a shot in the mouth, so be it.
Yeah, right. If I don't want to get hurt.
So terrible.
So she reaches down. It shows everything. She reaches down and there's a nub. It's like cut off with just a hairy ball sack. Like it's just a bunch of hair with a nub and a ball sack.
No castle freak giblets. No cash and prizes.
No, dude, just balls.
So
like it was so. She
he's a
fills him.
eunuch.
Yeah, she fills him and she screams and freaks out.
She's like, "There's no Frank above the beans."
The fucked up thing is, dude, he finally like he rips her shirt off because she's not cooperating, and you think, oh, he's gonna rape her. He bites her tit and like rips it off and starts eating her tits, like because he saw the dude doing it.
Oh god.
And then he like eats her vagina, but it's
wow.
like it's very graphic. Warning. That's the warning I should have gave. Is this is going to be a very graphic story.
Oh my god, dude.
Dude, that's only the beginning, right? Castle Freak. That scene fucked me up. That scene stuck with me. But
I can imagine.
He there's a point where the cops at the bar saw him with the prostitute, so she goes missing, and they're like, "You were the last person with her." And he's like, I don't know where she went. And then they find her. Like, they search the premises, find her. And he's like, I didn't do that. And they take him away. The daughter and mother stay behind. And the cops guard the house. One by one, the castle freak takes the cops out. And eventually the mom leaves. Yeah. And the blind girl's stuck in the room. And the castle freak grabs her. Throws her over his shoulder. Takes her down to the same place where the other chick's shackled. And just bleeding out, dead. And he like rips her shirt off. And it's just he starts to go for her tit, and it was so funny. I laughed at this part. Her mom walks in and finds out where they went, and the mom finds her, walks in, and she's like, "Take me instead," and she whips at her tit.
Oh,
like I laughed so fucking hard.
How about this one?
Yeah.
I mean, that's I guess that's the motherly thing to do in that situation.
That made me laugh so hard.
Don't take her tit.
And I think I laughed hard because it was like it broke the tension. You know what I mean?
For these people.
Oh, dude, it was a fucked up movie. But the dad escapes from jail, right?
Right, because he knows something's up.
Exactly. He said this way before in the movie. He's like, "There's somebody else here," and nobody believes him. Like a mirror breaks, and they're like, "What the fuck? They're eating breakfast." Right. He says there's somebody there, but nobody believes him, and he claims it's his son. He's like, I saw a picture of my son, and
I was thinking in my brain, I was like, is it the long lost son?
Right. Well, I don't know if they confirm that or not, but
really,
he breaks out of jail, and it's at a climactic, the third act, the end of the third act, when it's like the castle freak's on the roof with the whip, and the mother and daughter are cornered. They ran from him.
Ooh,
and
the whippy becomes the whipper.
Right, and the dad finds him on the roof, and he basically redeems himself by throwing the freak's got a shackles on,
right? So
he throws the other end of the shackle on his wrist, and he jumps off the edge because they're at the very top of the castle,
thus extinguishing the threat.
Yeah, he sacrificed himself to kill the freak. They're laying on the ground. He's still alive. The castle freak's dead. He's still alive, and it's that classic
Get that
Hollywood
final dramatic
thing.
scene.
Yeah, he's
if
like,
we remove the car from her below her torso, she'll bleed out. Yeah. Do you have any last words?
He's like, forgive me, and she's like, yeah, she's crying.
And then Bob Marley's redemption song play. Redemption song.
I don't know why I just wanted to tell you that because I recommend it because it's very old school. The what do you call it? The effects are wonderful.
Right.
You know, it was made in like '97.
Right. Would you compare like effects wise? Like, would you compare it to like a really well done Jason, or some sort of like nostalgic type of thing where they want to kind of do some of the old?
If you like stuff, monster movies, right? I'm a big monster movie guy. Like that's why I like Freddy, Jason, Leprechaun, Chucky. You know, there has to be there's a monster. That's that. You know, Michael Myers. Even if it's a human, there's
Right.
a main thing. You know, and it's a creative character.
Right.
That's what this kind of was
An
like
element of chaos.
The actor who played the freak did wonderful. Like it starts out really corny acting. Like you can tell they filmed it in order instead of.
So by the time they get to the end of the movie, everybody's
got their
acting
down. But it takes half the movie to get there because the first part you're like, this is really corny. I don't know about all this, but then midway you're like, oh damn, these people can fucking act. It just took them a minute to pick up the characters because they filmed in order.
Oh my god! And I just want to say right now that it just hit me. We were sitting here hitting this, and I just want to say I'm really high. Happy 420, by the way. That was just the other day.
I wanted to do episode 20 on 420.
Oh, that would have been so great.
But,
yeah.
you know.
COVID.
Shit happens.
COVID, thanks.
But we also, not only is it episode 20, and we should have way more episodes out. We need to, we're not as consistent as we want to be.
We're slacking.
But I think it's been a year. So obviously, you know, it's a year anniversary. So let's get a hand for the year anniversary.
Absolutely.
We
year.
did good, dude. 20 episodes.
20 in 1 year. Also, all while navigating life and its various pitfalls for that year.
Right, yeah. It was
a lot of things happened, and it was capped with COVID.
Yeah, this is the cherry on top, ain't it?
It really kind of is. And it's like
I think we've stayed consistent more with the COVID happening than we did before.
We actually have. There's less things getting in the way now, so it's like, oh, okay, well, let's
traffic's
churn one
looking
out.
better.
Yeah. Saw 13 cars on the road today. Let's do a podcast. Oh goodness.
I liked Castle Freak. I think anybody who likes Freddy, Jason, all that shit, check Castle Freak out because I think it's a novel, is what it was, and they made it into a film.
Oh, nice.
But it was so good. I think that's why it stuck with me. It was the imagery of the hairy ball, like you did. Right. They went full frontal.
You didn't need to see it. It could have been implied, but they went ahead and they threw it in there.
But I thought it was so interesting that the story was so well written. I could tell it was a novel because she's a prostitute, right? So you got to see that character have to debate, like...
You're not just watching the scene, you're feeling the scene.
Right.
You're
she did a great
the
job.
Things that are happening.
Because you can see it in her eyes. She's finally like, I'm going to have to do something to get out of this. And then she freaks out because there's nothing there. You know?
Right.
So she's like, this ain't sexual.
Where's the Frank? Where's the Frank? It's okay.
Where's the ballpark, MJ?
Just hold tight. You're about to get your tit bit off.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I cannot believe that. That's still.
It was a great movie, though. It was really well done.
The only thing.
And I watched. What did I rewatch? We watched It Chapter 2 the other night. I rewatched It Chapter 2. I enjoyed it.
Is it worth the money?
I love that movie.
Is it worth the money going by?
Well, it's $10. So
that's worth it.
I mean, if you're a fan of horror films, yeah.
Fucking COVID deal. What's up?
You can rent it too,
right?
But yeah, it's definitely worth one-time watch. Getting to watch them in sequence will take you about 4 hours, but if you do it, it's a great story. They did a wonderful job with it. My dad liked it. My dad does not like movies. Like, he's a fan of the older one and Stephen King and shit.
I like the older one, but I hate that it's
He was the one that introduced me to Maximum Overdrive.
And that's a good one.
But that movie got so much shit.
How they
dogged.
How they filmed it though, the original, it was like a 2-parter fucking soap opera. But at least it had the story. So I was always thankful for that. I've seen it multiple times.
Oh yeah.
But I've only seen the newer one, just the first of the newer one.
I guess for TV, Tim Curry, because it was a miniseries. So for Tim Curry, that was great. He did a great job. Mm-hmm. But when you watch Bill Skarsgård's performance in that movie, dude, he's fucking great. Like the thing he does with his eye. You know what I mean? Moving the eye back and forth. The just the acting was crazy.
I have to tell you, I think he's a better It than old. Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
Well, obviously they are. It's one of those cases. I compare that remake to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. In 2003, when Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out, it amped the fucking
Right.
shit
The whole franchise.
up because
It's like, oh yeah, I remember this. We used to
Uh-huh.
love this. Let's fucking do this again.
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, people don't realize that movie didn't have blood and guts and shit in it. It was
No, it
hardly. It
didn't.
was such a low budget that they didn't even have blood and guts in it. It was just the idea. It was the shit you were seeing that was creepy, and it was a great movie for the time. But when the fucking remake in 2003 came out, it made
Yeah.
it fucking scary. It really brought to light, oh shit, this was like,
Showing you all the things you haven't,
oh yeah,
You're-
chainsaw sawing you in half. I always thought Leatherface was a great fucking character too.
Oh, yeah.
Leatherface is an awesome idea.
He's a great one. I've always felt he was right up there with Freddy and Jason.
yeah,
Michael
right,
Myers.
right there too. And
Oh,
people
yeah.
don't give him that much credit. Well, I guess the horror community does, but like my favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, and it is 2 through 3, okay? No, 2 through 4.
Okay.
The second one was one. It was fucking so different than the first one, and it was so 80s
Right.
and perfect horror. It was comedy. They killed it with that, but it took the scary away. The third one I felt made it darker and tried to bring the scary back
Right.
with it, and that's kind of that's how I think they based off the remake. Was 3 was very dark.
Right.
The fourth one had Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger in it.
Matthew McConaughey.
And I like that one, and not a lot of people hate that movie.
I've not seen it.
I love it. In fact, the dude from Lord of the Rings is in the third Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Which dude?
What's his name? Aragon?
Oh, Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
Viggo Mortensen.
Mhm.
Viggo Mortensen.
Mhm.
Again? Yeah, that guy.
Vigo's in it.
Dude, I like that guy.
No,
he's-
the third. Have
He's.
you?
Have you ever seen that movie, A History of Violence?
Yeah,
And he's the main character. I like that.
yeah, that was a good one.
I like that.
The thing is, the third and fourth one had really good acting in it for B films. You know what I mean? Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre never really blew the fuck up
Right.
like Freddy did, and Jason. It didn't get 13 sequels.
Right.
It got the 4, and they were so spaced out. One's in the first one's in the 70s, second one's in the 80s, third one's in the 90s, fourth one was at the end of the 90s, and it kind of went away till 2003.
Right.
But that fucking film spawned the sequel that was a prequel and explained that story. It was just
Right.
they did a good job. They made it darker. They made it way more serious.
And they went. And they kind of took different avenues than was the typical, successful horror franchise.
That's
I think that's cool too. They're blazing their own trail with it.
that's what they did with Jason and Freddy. Really,
Yeah.
was the guys who helped write Freddy vs. Jason said they were so disappointed how cartoony Freddy vs. Jason was that when they wrote Friday the 13th, the remake in 2009,
Right.
they said, we wanted to make it darker. We wanted it to have that Texas Chainsaw Massacre feel
Yeah.
that we had in 2003.
Like,
That
don't
dark light.
forget-
It's a horror fucking
Don't forget,
film.
like, this is scary. This is evil
exactly.
shit.
This is supposed to be wicked shit.
Yeah.
And the 80s kind of took.
There ain't no fun and games and sunglasses and cherry red convertibles.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves that they did to Freddy. Rennie Harlan,
Mm-hmm.
I think the director, he did Die Hard. I didn't realize that. And then Chuck Russell, who
love Die Hard.
directed Dream
Greatest
Warriors.
Christmas movie in the
Yeah?
history of Christmas
Home
movies.
Alone.
Die Hard. No, Die Hard.
Die Hard's
D-
Die Hard's
Ho-
overrated.
Home Alone is good.
Die Hard's overrated.
I know.
I said
but
it. I said it. My name's
It's a
Lau.
little overrated. Your name is not Lau.
You heard it here first.
You
I'm
do
Lau.
not speak for me, sir. I will never be Cotter.
I thought.
We just sounded hateful towards each other.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
Is that gonna affect
No.
what's going on?
No.
I don't know, man. I love fucking horror films. My kids are starting to get to that point of watching certain things. Like I let them
Right.
watch Freddy's Dead
Mhm.
because Freddy's Dead is very cartoony and it's not as gory and there's less in it, so it's like more child friendly, if that makes sense.
Right. But when
And
you were Christopher's age, you were watching some fucked up 80s shit, dude.
I started watching horror films when I was 3. My mom
Mhm.
says that they had one of those little TVs with the
So
VHS
by the
player
time
on
you were
it.
Christopher's age, you had already seen all manner of some fucked up films.
The very first film I ever saw was Dream Warriors. I've said that, and that film was so creative that's what made me want to see more
Right.
horror films. Is just because, like, I was a baby, so I thought that was the first Freddy Krueger movie. I was like, oh shit, like this is
Yeah.
I'd never seen anything like that. And then as I got older, my grandma used to take me to the Hollywood movie rental place down the road from her house, and I'd spend the night with her on the weekends after school.
Right.
And she would get me Chinese food, and we would rent a shit ton of horror films. Like,
Heck yeah.
and she would just let me sit back and watch all of them, and that's how I discovered a lot of them. And I remember Leprechaun. I loved fucking Leprechaun a lot. I would
love
rent. I would
Leprechaun.
re-rent Leprechaun every other weekend. And she's like, "You've seen that 1,000 times." I was like, "Yeah, I want to watch it again." All the Jasons, all the
Right.
Freddys. That's how I got back to
the magical time.
the rest of the Freddys. Was they had the VHS of Dream Warriors,
Right.
but then as I got older and she let me rent the movies, I was like, "There's more," so I got to see those, and I picked them up.
In this day and age, it wouldn't have taken you that long to know that there were more.
Exactly.
The cell phones, they were in the
Dude,
cell
I
phones
almost-
and shit. We didn't have the internet.
I'm
like,
gonna miss movie rental places. That's
Yeah.
one memory I have as a kid. Just
exploring a movie rental place.
Yeah, it
like,
was fun.
categorizing your rentals. What's most important?
that shit doesn't exist anymore.
No, man.
And
It's
it
gone.
won't.
Gone with the.
There's a
with the
family video
ethos.
down the road, but I owe them like $60.
You're like, I gotta find it this one. Remember the little video store downtown here, and good old Repo. You remember that one?
I'm trying to think back.
It wasn't
'cause
Stardust, but
Where was it? Was it by Main Street?
it was on Main Street.
Yeah.
It was on Main Street, where now that appliance store is there. It's an appliance store now. Refrigeration Associates. That's it. It's Refrigeration Associates.
I often wonder, because I'm also bipolar, if me growing up with all that violence and just watching, it's the Clockwork Orange theory of like
You're
holding
worried-
his eyes open.
You're
and making him
worried that
watch
your
it.
disposition is of a dark.
Maybe I'm not bipolar.
place.
Maybe I have bipolar because I don't. I'm not in any way, shape, or form blaming fucking video game violence
Right.
and media and art.
You're
I
just
consider it
saying
art.
that there's
I
more
wonder.
than there's
I
more than
wonder.
one factor that goes into something like
Exactly.
that. At times.
I'm a realist,
and you've
and-
probably just recognized this as one of those factor.
It's like getting angry, and that's my bipolar is mild, but it's like I get really emotional
Right.
sometimes. Like
you
I'll
always
be really
like,
sad.
You always have to like catch yourself and remind yourself that if I'm angry at something, it means I don't fully understand something.
right.
So see, instead of being mad and dwell, seek more information, understand something at least wholly, so you can at least hate it wholly,
Right.
or like it.
I don't contribute my bipolar towards that, but I do wonder sometimes, like maybe at such a young age growing up, I enjoy, and I immediately knew, it's just entertainment. That's what my mom
Right.
and dad used to say. It's just fake.
Entertainment.
They
It's
showed
movies.
me Robert Englund getting the makeup put on him, and if you understand that, you're like, oh, you quickly get it. Like, this is a film. It's art.
Yeah.
And I've always thought, for some reason, horror films are the most creative films.
They have the most colorful expression.
Mhm.
I'll definitely give it that. Like for its art form, like, man, it's
Because there's so much you can do with scary.
Yeah.
Like all the action films are cliche now.
Mhm.
And horror films have their cliches too. That's what Scream's about.
right.
You know what I
And
mean?
comedies have their cliches, and so do all the genres.
But it's I've always just felt like it was so cool, the makeup effects.
Right.
And like researching Tom Savini and finding out all these people that have made the Jason outfits and made the masks for Freddy, and just all the designing that it takes. Everything you learn quickly that film is very fucking difficult.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's why they cost so much money to make.
yeah, it looks amazing. The final product, you're
Right.
like, oh, sometimes it pays off, but then other times it's a flop, and it's like they worked
Right.
so fucking hard on it and it flops. That sucks.
I know. It's heartbreaking.
But fuck them.
But it's a hard thing to face when you realize, what you put into something that was supposed to be a culminating effect between hardworking peoples, and it was a flop.
I've written scripts that'll never get read.
Hard to face.
It's just I think at a certain level, it's just the fact that I finished it and you did
Right.
it. That's probably how they feel. Like, fuck it, if you don't like it, whatever, we put.
Yeah, I've got quite a few or two short stories I've written, but none will ever see, nor will it be published and shit.
Right.
But
I think everybody needs a creative outlet.
mhm.
No matter what it is, because that you need your mind outside of your body for a minute. Like,
Right.
whether you write music, paint pictures.
You want to give
write
yourself that
stories.
extra dimension so you can kind of.
What's cool about like writing stories is it's like if you picture it like a movie, right? Like that's why I love writing
Mhm.
scripts, is because it releases creative
Right.
juices. Like I have,
Mhm.
and
You're-
you create characters and
You've got total control.
you get into
and,
it. Yeah,
and
it's
and
a
you
world
build,
you can dwell
make
into.
This whole thing, yeah.
you build the whole world up,
Mhm.
and you have this image of what I mean. Like it helps.
You got to
know.
build the entire world. You build even like how characters in the world feel about the world.
Right.
Like
You have to think about that
you-
person.
Yeah, you are kind of striking that arc that will go askew through the story, and because it starts with one person and culminates to another, and then if everyone has that same dogma, that same just way of thinking throughout the deal, the reader or viewer adopts that, and then you can,
Right.
once you have that in the palm of your hand, you can turn around like M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
He's
you
really
say
good
that.
at doing that.
'Cause
You know what I mean?
I was talking about M.
Getting
Night
you in a
Shyamalan
pooper.
today. We were talking about Signs, Sixth Sense, The Village,
Right.
The Happening.
Mm-hmm.
Which-
Oh yeah, and all those do that. They have that skewed arc of events, and then it's a complete, like he finishes the trajectory of that arc, and then
I
you're
almost
like,
feel
"What?"
like he's
And
almost in like a Stanley Kubrick type lane
Kind of plays with your emotions.
with some of his stuff, because he made
Uh-huh.
the Unbreakable, Split, and Glass movie,
Right.
and those films are fucking awesome. Like,
Split was one of the most kind of interesting movies I've ever seen. Like
James McAvoy's a beast. That
mm,
dude can act his ass
I
off.
really like how he did Unbreakable. Which introduced Gus and
Right.
all that jazz. I really liked how he did that. Like it was kind of like, I guess it is like if a normal person, figured out or realized or it was brought to their attention. It's like you have these sort of remarkable abilities, and like it was even like he was like the perfect warrior. He was invincible. He was not only like highly intelligent.
It's almost like a superhero story.
He was also like insanely intuitive. Like he's like you look at somebody and visualize, be able to identify they've got a gun on them, and know what color the gun probably is. Like he gets a hunch, and he's right.
Right.
Like it shows you in the movie, like he just like he's like the ultimate like warrior security. He works security at a ballpark.
It's almost like the movie Upgrade. I never seen that movie, but it looked interesting.
What's Upgrade?
It's about a dude who like basically he's like faster. He can fight and he can slow shit down. Like he's almost like a robot.
Right.
But I don't know what exactly. I just know it's called Upgrade. I saw
Right.
the previews for it and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Um,
I like shit like that. Reminds me of The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Because you notice in the game, when
I
you
haven't played it.
when you hit your Kylie would know when you hit your
Oh, yeah.
perfect dodge, when you dodge an enemy like perfectly, or you swipe back with your shield, but that perfect moment, it kind of you see the game kind of slows down. You see the opening, and then you smash Y, over and over to get that fury attack. And it's like that's just one of the mechanics of the game, and it makes you you get really good at fighting. Like you can just take on gargantuan things, but you're good because you've got everything in your arsenal. You know what to do. Like the smarter you are, the more powerful you are. It's not how like just blunt force
I
powerful you
liked
are.
Twilight Princess.
Yeah, that's but like, dude, I said that to say this. Fuck, I'm high. Even in the game, Link talks about like because he's got to talk to the other people in the game and shit. He does talk to a few of them, and one of them writes down, and then you find this like written down. It's been in a book for like 100 years, and someone had written down where Link told him one time that when he fights, sometimes it's like time slows down, and he knows exactly where to strike something, and the idea doesn't originally come from him. Like he's told. Basically, like shown.
Isn't Link just a recycled version of himself?
He is
time?
the goddess's warrior. He has
Right.
the same. He's the same incarnation of the goddess's warrior. Each time.
I can't.
But it's just crazy. Like that's crazy.
I have a weird prejudice against like anime and nerdy. Like the problem is I'm a nerd, but I'm a nerd for certain shit. Like I'm not a big like.
Right.
I feel like I'm not trying to down anybody that likes that shit.
Like Zelda though, didn't start out in like anime or anything like that. Like it was,
but
it was.
I'm just not. I don't know the shit. Is what I'm basically. I'm
right.
so uneducated.
Well, it's a whole story. Yeah, it's like kind of like
I just know bits and pieces. I've only played 2 games though. You know what I mean? Like I haven't played any of the others. So.
They're good games. Like you would really love. You would get zoned out into fucking.
Oh yeah, no, I guarantee
Breath
it.
of the Wild, dude.
Dude, I got zoned out on my phone playing a fucking app game, Last Day on Earth or some shit.
Right.
And it was I was like, oh fuck, I spent $1. I spent 99 cents to get 20 bottles of water, a backpack, and some meat. Because I kept dying. You start out in your underwear, and you get this little house, and you have to build shit. You have to fix the walls. There's zombies everywhere. You have to fight other players. They can come raid your house. Like,
oh shit!
I was getting into it, but I deleted it because in the house I started out at, I couldn't get clothes.
Right.
You have to gather supplies and build the things. You know what I mean? You can build a motorcycle, and it gets you further. Like if you travel, you can either use some of your energy, or you can walk. And if you walk, it takes like 20 minutes sometimes, depending on where you're going. So you have to wait. And I always use my energy. I'm like, fuck that. I want to play.
Yeah.
Right. So I was getting really into that game, and I bought the backpack and the meat and all the stuff. I was like, if I get a good start, because I kept losing equipment, I was like, if I get a good start on like health and have all this survival shit, I can go gather supplies and start building all these things. I was getting into it.
Right.
And I didn't build the walls to my house, and so it's just open, but I didn't know it was an online game. And the dude I work with today told me, he's like, yeah, people can come raid your shit.
Oh shit!
So everything I had put in my chest, I go back and it wasn't there. I deleted it. I was so mad. I was like, I didn't know. I spent $1. I was so mad.
I just lost $1.
I'm not into like spending money on games, but if it's a game I really really like, I will.
Right.
Like zombies, Call of Duty Zombies. I've spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Right.
That's almost embarrassing, but it is what it is. The game itself was like $120 with Chronicles and Black Ops 3.
Right.
And, I need gobble gums.
Gobble gums.
I need the gobble gums.
Need the gobble gums. It's one of the most important things.
I'm like fucking prestiged 4 times on that game. About to be on my 5th.
Damn.
Like.
So when other people see you online, they're like, damn.
Kinda. You can get a special mark if you complete the Easter eggs.
Oh.
But I don't have that because I can't complete the Easter eggs.
So everyone looks at you like, he's shit. He doesn't got the Easter egg. Is that how they regard you on there? Are they?
Maybe.
Is the online for Call of Duty still just a bunch of assholes and kids?
No, dude. The thing is
be honest.
The people on Black Ops 3 that are playing zombies are really, really chill. Like I think it's mostly potheads, because there's still a community that plays that zombies. In my personal opinion, I think they should have done a Chronicles 2, a Zombies Chronicles 2, because the first one didn't have reasonable maps. I didn't feel like
Right.
like there were some cool maps on it, but I was like, I don't want to play Moon. You know what I mean? I don't want to play all. I wanted to play like maps like 5 where you're JFK or Nixon or in the White House, transit with the bus.
Right.
I wanted to play high, just different maps, and I felt like they gave all shit maps,
Oh yeah.
and they never put out a Chronicles 2, so it's
Damn.
just those remastered, and I was like, why didn't you just remaster all of them?
Right. Right.
I would pay money for that. We play the fuck out of zombies. My wife loves it. It's the only Call of Duty she'll play is zombies.
I used to play the fuck out of Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Just the fuck out of it.
I feel like that was the best zombies period.
Oh man.
If they would have had the gobble gums that they've got now, because right now this is my favorite
Right.
because of the gobble gums. Like it's just perks that you can pop and shit, and
Right.
and it helps you progress. If I could beat, and dude, you should play it with us sometime. If I could beat an Easter egg, I'd be so fucking happy.
Really.
Oh yeah,
If I get my Easter egg stripe,
bro.
all the people online will
Like I
love
said,
me.
I'm a nerd, but only for certain things. Like my wife loves anime, so I give her shit all the time about it.
Oh, I'm not really super into a bunch of animes. Although I do like Sword Art Online, but only the first
I
one.
played Carcassonne with you one time, dude. Don't.
Carcassonne has nothing to do with anime.
Yeah, but it's nerdy.
Yeah.
It's super nerdy.
You gotta not be a dumbass.
Well, that's a good point. That's probably why I'm simple. I'm a simple man.
Yeah. It's just like fucking conquering. That's what Carcassonne's all about. Building and conquering.
Conquering.
And in the end, there can be only one.
I did get into it. I did enjoy it after a while, but I was also drinking. But I did find it interesting, and it was fun. It was something different.
Yeah, and you kind of just like build this landscape with your friends and
Right.
try to take it over.
I
love it.
really like the game Risk.
Risk is fun.
Risk is badass.
But Carcassonne's a lot like Risk, but you're all in the same area and you're building it.
Right. I don't know, man. I guess I'm not as open-minded as I want to play off sometimes, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I like to think I'm open-minded, but then I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, my wife will try to get me to play Naruto, the video game where you fight and shit.
I
And
refuse.
and I was like, I don't really know
I would
anything
do so.
about it.
I'd be like, no, thank you.
You want to play Mortal Kombat? Like, she's like, no. And I'm like, it's because I'm simple.
I won't play no Mortal Kombat either.
You don't want to play no button mash?
I'll play Mortal Kombat 3. That's it. Get a Super Nintendo, we'll roll.
I like Injustice.
Yeah.
Injustice was really good, I thought.
Your face is really good.
Oh, that's gay.
And so is Injustice.
Is it? Is it super gay?
It's super gay, dude. But, not that, we love all people.
I'm not
Disclaimer.
playing any games other than zombies, really. I don't.
That's because you're dumb.
Oh.
You're just dumb, and you're not opening your mind to this wonderful world of video game.
No, the thing is,
There's
though,
so much out there.
I have a preference. Like,
Yeah.
I love horror, right? So I would seek out one of the best horror games I've ever played was Condemned. Have
Right.
you ever played Condemned?
No.
There's Condemned and Condemned
I
2,
played
Bloodshot.
Silent Hill, though.
Silent Hill was really good.
I like that one.
I played a shit ton of Silent Hill, and Resident Evils. Like Resident Evil 4, I've beat that like 5 times.
I stopped at 2. I was like, I'm good.
You haven't played any of the new ones?
No, I'm good.
Biohazard looked pretty good.
Maybe I'm stupid. I don't like that game either. Maybe I'm stupid too.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. No, I don't think it's that. I think, yeah, no, you're stupid, but
Well, Biohazard is dumb. Okay.
Biohazard?
Yeah, go check it out. It's dumb.
Are you talking about BioShock
Or what?
or Resident Evil?
Weird dude in the suit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's BioShock.
Yeah, well, that sucks.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that game. Resident Evil
stupid.
Biohazard was a good. It looked good. It was a first person Resident Evil
But
game.
it wasn't good. No.
You played it?
No, but I saw it in the magazine.
You didn't even see gameplay?
I saw screenshots,
Ah, fuck.
and it was stupid.
You didn't even see it in motion.
And I burnt that book.
Oh shit.
It was a magazine.
Didn't you peed on the ashes?
I tried, but
You didn't have to go.
Someone had already alerted the authorities.
That you burnt the magazine.
I was yelling at it at first. And they got all, let's say something,
Why
honey.
is that guy yelling at that fucking magazine?
I don't know. See something, say something.
Oh my God, Frankie's pissing on the ass.
He's coming dark.
He's going dark.
He's coming in the house. Coming. Okay, what just happened?
A revelation.
In what?
The mind, soul, and body.
Of what?
How crazy do you think it is that we're on 20, dude? How cool is that?
Episode 20.
How great is
and we're
that?
talking about turtles for some reason.
When the fuck did we talk about turtles?
Right about now. You went right into that, dude.
Touche.
Oh.
Touche. Hashtag turtles.
I'm so dumb.
Did you hear about all the baby turtles that were born on the beach because there's nobody at the beach? And so all these baby turtles got to...
Oh.
Yeah, it was... You know what's cool about
Thanks,
it is...
COVID.
This might be nature's way of, like, smacking our hand in some form of way, and it's the planet's getting a little bit of a break.
That's definitely going to be... That point is definitely going to be used a lot here in the near future.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to bring that up. Other people are going to notice.
Well, I think the problem is this is going to push the depopulation agendas, because they're going to say, look what that did, and we only
Fucking Bill Nye's gonna
maybe
be
there's a
there.
better way to take care of the planet, and it's
Right.
put restrictions on people.
They're going to start killing people. Is that what you're saying?
No,
They're gonna go
I'm not
from
talking
house-
about death. I'm
There
talking
are too
about
many people.
I'm talking about they're
We
going to
have
start.
to kill you.
They're going to start with restrictions
So
because they've
so they're just
restricted
gonna,
us.
What? Tie you up?
Who's going to tie me up?
They're-
Cheney?
You said they were going to come and they were going to restrict us.
Obama better not tie me up. Because guess what I got for Obama?
I'll be pissed, dude.
Dude, if Trump comes in here, I'm combing his fucking hair. I don't care.
You want me to?
I'll comb it.
I won't. I'm not.
You
even,
know what Trump should do? He should shave his head bald and grow a fucking beard.
Really?
Fuck yeah.
You look like an orange Jebediah.
Oh, dude, the orange shit. Let's have a debate.
Hey,
I'm
Joe.
Steven Crowder, okay?
Okay.
You know what I've been watching lately?
What?
Not police brutality videos. I stopped that.
Okay, that just brings on aggression.
Well, this does too. I watch SJW cringe videos.
What's that?
Social justice warrior. It's like protesters at a Trump rally or anti-Trump rally.
Mm-hmm.
These people, it's usually like InfoWars, Steven Crowder, different
And it's just people getting told off.
right wing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And no, they bring a microphone and a camera like a reporter, and they ask him questions, and these people can't answer the questions. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. And one guy even screamed at Steven Crowder. He's like, I don't give a fuck about facts.
Oh shit.
And it's like, what are you saying? You don't give a fuck about facts? Like,
What?
that's how we live. Like,
did he when he was done was I retract that last statement because that was retarded.
I don't have an issue with transgender people at all.
Where did that come from?
Well, SJW,
Oh.
social justice, it's feminist,
Oh,
trans
okay.
movement, LGBTQ,
LGBTQ.
whatever. Yeah, it's the movement of like all these very liberal people who just want
to be recognized as people. We're all people.
Right,
We're
right.
all people.
right, but they don't ever bring forth the argument that needs to be brought forth for the subject.
Well, the only argument
stumble
is,
over their-
everyone should be what they want to be. It's America.
Well, they push boundaries.
And
like
I'm
the one
proud
the
to
one
be an American.
the one college student who stood up and asked Ben Shapiro. She was like, where in Boy Scouts does it say girls can't be in the Boy Scouts? They feel excluded. And he's like, the word Boy Scouts. There's Girl Scouts and there's Boy Scouts. And they
Right.
want to intermingle them. It's like, that I don't feel like, why? What's the purpose?
I don't know. Like,
I mean, I get the argument, why be against it so much? I'm not against it at all.
yeah.
I usually...
Why can't there be a club tribe?
I usually have questions.
Or like the tribe, the cub of tribe, the tribe cub, the cub tribe.
You go Joe Exotic on me?
I guess so. Well, no, I couldn't say that right.
Carol fucking Baskins.
That's right, fucking bitch. Fucking bitch.
Did you hear about Jeff Lowe coming out and saying that he had sexual relations with the Tigers?
What?
Mm-hmm. He's saying now that he was
Do you
fucking
believe that?
fucking tiger.
Do you believe it's like? I heard he was afraid of the tigers.
I don't think he was fucking.
And it'd probably take like 3 people to successfully fuck a
Dude,
tiger.
you're not fucking
You
a fucking
know this,
tiger.
right? It
Look.
takes 3 people to fuck an ostrich. I've seen Letterkenny.
Oh yeah, Letterkenny's awesome.
So if it takes 3 people to fuck an ostrich, how many people do you think people take fuck a tiger? How many?
Nobody's fucking a tiger. That's the thing, is you're not getting away with that.
So you don't believe he did it?
I don't think he did.
You don't think he
I think he was a weirdo, but I don't think he was.
I don't think he was having
weirdo.
sexual relations with
No.
tigers.
I think Jeff Lowe's a dickhead.
That's why
I don't like that
That's why he
fucking
kept.
dude at
You
all.
know, he get boys. He not boys, men.
Well,
straight
he
men,
did kind of.
and
He
then
did
would
kind of
give them
groom.
drugs
He
and
did
stuff
kind of
and have sex
groom
with
young
them.
guys. He did
Yeah.
kind of groom them a little bit. It was kind of creepy.
Yeah, it was weird.
Nobody pointed that out. You know.
You want some weed? I'll get you some weed. You don't have to leave.
Yeah.
I saw a tiger.
I
go get you some weed.
and the whole him burning down the.
Yeah, I believe Joe did that.
I do too. Well, not personally. I think he hired somebody to do it, but
Right.
you know, I think there was
It was
maybe
of his doing.
There was some video evidence he didn't want people seeing. Maybe he had some dirt on him and he didn't want it.
He benefited an awful lot from that
Mhm.
getting burned down. And he got another one built.
He did. I don't know. That's really fucked up because he killed the alligators and shit. I
Yeah.
don't feel like it was real. I still having trouble processing the fact that's a real, true
it's
story.
all real.
That was real people.
Unfortunately, it is real.
Have you seen "Because You Love Me," his music video, where he's walking
No.
around the park and like grabbing people and singing? Like he's half-ass singing.
Oh my god.
You can tell he's kind of embarrassed to be doing it because he's just walking around, and you don't know. I thought instantly, is there a music track going along with this so he knows when to hit the?
Or is he just doing it all?
Or
in
is
his
he just
Joe
kinda-
Exotic head?
He's walking around singing, and people are
Uh-huh.
like, "What the fuck?"
Like, bro, calm.
'Cause you love me.
Tiger, something. Fuck Carol Baskins
I'm
fits
so
in there
sick
as
of.
well.
I'm so sick of Joe Exotic already. I knew
You
it
really
would
are.
happen.
Oh no,
I knew it
the
would happen.
trend is dying.
Yeah, it was a fun train to hop on, but I'm over it.
You know.
Everybody bought shirts and shit. I'm like, God damn it. It was all right.
Do you hope that Trump pardons him?
I don't give a fuck at this
You don't
point.
give a
I don't fucking care.
Well, why not? He's just sitting in there.
I think he should do some time because he did go along with it, but I think they forced his hand, kind of.
Right.
So I think there's a couple other people that need to go with him.
I'm
And I don't
thinking-
like that fat fucking Louis Anderson looking motherfucker either. I don't. The more I find out about him, I fucking hate that.
I say, cut him loose, time served, and we'll see him on the Ellen show.
Yeah, time served, and then he should come out and tell his side of the story. And I would like to see him maybe get a zoo. If he did
Mhm.
care about the animals, but he did some sketchy shit, dude. He needs to do time. Like he's obviously not a
Right.
great guy, but out of the 3,
Right.
he seemed like the funnest to be around.
Yeah.
I guess I don't
He's
know.
the only one that got locked up.
Unless you
And-
work for him. He was rude to his employees like a
Yeah.
motherfucker. He was such an asshole. I love when he runs in there and he's like, "Lady got her arm bit off by a tiger. I
Yep.
can either give you a rain check or a refund. See you another day." And then he steps back. He's like, "I'm never going to financially recover from this situation."
Takes
That made me laugh so hard. He's ripping a butt. He's like, "Oh shit."
Wonder why my employee got her arm ripped off by a tiger? Carol fucking Baskins. Fucking bitch. I hope he gets out.
She'll probably do time if they find her husband, if they find the remains and shit,
Yeah, that's true.
because she's under investigation for it.
Good. Yo, yeah, investigation's open back
But she's
up.
so weird, dude. When they were talking about Joe Exotic
Mhm.
getting drug across the cage by the tiger, and she's like, "Well, if they didn't want somebody wanted to fuck with him, they wouldn't want him dead. If they wanted him dead, they'd put something I don't know, sardine oil on their boot." And everybody's
Like,
like,
bitch.
"That's such a specific fucking thing to."
Yeah, like
You could have said anything else, and
It's
it
like-
probably would have been
it's
way
like-
more normal.
It's like, bitch, you are like really sitting here incriminating the fuck out yourself.
She's
Like,
an idiot.
you need sardine oil. It's like, oh, is that right?
She
Carol fucking Baskin. How's Costa
she
Rica?
laughs.
How's
She
Costa-
laughs at it. I wouldn't put him in the grinder all at once.
So things like that's big. You have to at least chop his hands off.
Yeah,
His
she
arms
goes
in
into
at least
detail.
3 places.
She
His
OJ
torso in about 6 pieces. His legs 7 pieces apiece.
she OJ'd herself.
Yeah. And
What
then,
if I did do it, motherfucker?
then you don't feed the tigers for about 3 days. Get them real
I-
hungry. all that acidity in their bellies.
You know what? Just the couple episodes just came out, and it's a highly recommend. I highly recommend this show. What We Do in the Shadows. The new season's coming out, and
I've seen the first season when it first came out.
I love that show.
Yeah, it was
It's
good.
so
It's funny
funny.
as hell.
Oh,
I
God.
love those guys.
Haley Joel Osment's in the second season,
Sweet.
and he's running around dusting shit. He says something like, "I'm relentless. I just don't relent." And for some reason, it caught me off guard, and I laughed my ass off. He's like, "I just don't relent."
It's just not within my body.
It's such a good show. The movie's pretty
I'm gonna
good.
have
The
to-
movie's funny.
What's it on?
Hulu. It's on
Hulu?
FX.
Oh, sweet.
It's on
So,
FX, but
okay.
Hulu's got it.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
And it's just such a funny show.
Right.
Documentary style. I love that shit.
Oh yeah.
Trailer Park Boys set that shit on fire.
Oh, dude, I know. I still, to this day, love me some Bubbles, man.
Dude, I love those characters. Are so well written, and those guys
I love
play
that
them so
shit.
well.
One of my favorite scenes is Bubbles saying that they're all about to go to prison, and he's like, "Well, they told me to get rid of my kitties, but I'm not gonna do it. I put enough food in here to last 20 years.
He
Kitty
dumps
pool,
the
like,
food.
China." He's like, "I should do it. They got enough water. They don't fucking knock it down, and then bye kitties." I love it. Shit, Bubbles is the
I
best.
like when he gets in it with Rick. He's like, "You want one?" Like throwing his fist back. "You want to eat, Ricky?"
I love
Or when he does the puppet Gonky.
Yeah.
Ricky's like, "Shut the fuck up, Gonky." Julian's like, "It's a puppet. It's a puppet, Rick. Fuck."
It's a
That-
puppet.
That show's fucking awesome.
It makes me want to rum and coke.
It's so sad that dude died.
I know.
It's so sad. I was so disappointed when I heard that. I was like,
know.
Jesus Christ. It's sad, and also I was thinking, poor guy and his daughter and all that. But I was also thinking, I was kind of selfish about it because I was like, fuck. Now they're not gonna continue Trailer Park Boys. It's kind of over.
Now it's
For all I know, the last season was a cartoon because he had died, so they
Right.
had to finish it out as a cartoon.
You know what happens.
It
6
was-
feet under, man.
It sucks. I think they could continue the show though, or do spinoffs. Like I'd like to
Right.
see a J-Rock spinoff.
Or
J-Rock. J-Rock. Oh yeah. Them as kids.
when they first meet. That'd be sweet.
They could do a movie.
That'd be cool.
They've done a shit ton of Trailer Park movies. That
Or
show.
some of their old men
when
living
they're
in
older.
and it's not a
Yeah.
trailer park. It's an old folks. Like it's a fucking.
They could do that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
whole fucking senior citizen little.
That's and I think that's kind of what set
Community.
off Letterkenny really.
Really?
Was Letterkenny, kind of it had its own original like thing about it. Like it was,
Yeah, it was about
characters you can
these
give a fuck about.
up in up in Letterkenny, Canada. It's Canadian people and their little quips and
Kylie got me to watch Letterkenny. I thought it was the funniest shit.
It's funny shit.
He says the big guy's sitting there and he's always telling his history. He's like, "That's why I like you." And she's like, "Is that why you like me?" She's all hot.
Mhm.
And there's one scene where they're sitting in the barn, and he says that he's like, "That's why I like you." She's like, "Is that why you like me?" And he looks over at them and he's like, "Your sister's hot," and he runs off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that shit, dude.
That dude, I love the concept that the big farmer guy, the main guy, he's a badass, but he's chill
He's
as
the
fuck.
toughest guy in the town.
He's just calm.
He's like the deepest thinker, and no one can beat him in a fist fight. Like,
That show's really good. I'm
I
impressed.
fucking love this shit. Why don't you give your balls a tug, you tit fucker?
the fucking hockey guys are ridiculous. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I'm
Just give your balls a tug, you tit fucker.
I'm very into shows right now. Movies haven't impressed me.
Well,
Anyway.
it's COVID times. and
We
you-
watched Sonic.
Yeah,
It was all right.
I watched a minute of it. It was great.
It was all right. It wasn't the
It
best.
was at the very beginning. He kept stopping at that same part.
What
That was a lot of gin that night. A lot of gin.
what episode so far is your personal favorite?
I really like
We've had some fun ones.
there's like a few that pop up, but it's got to be like 9 and the Ocho and like 14.
14's one of my favorites.
I like 14.
You can go back and listen to 14. I thought 14 was entertaining and fun. I don't know, man.
I think the ones that were just sitting there bullshitting
Yeah.
are the best ones.
Yeah.
I enjoy those.
We tried to start out with topics.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we did.
You learn that
And-
you can't have an hour of one topic.
Right.
It's just not going to work.
You know, and I'm sure as we expand, which soon we will be
Upgrading.
upgrading.
We're not
it's
going to
be
get into
great.
the video game, I don't think. Like the filming ourselves. I don't think it's necessary
I
right
think
now.
we just hang up like a bunch of cool sheets.
And not even get a video camera, just hang the
Yeah,
sheet.
and just chill in our
Just
sheets.
chill on
I'll
the
string
sheet.
some lights.
Drew Carey in that All Things Comedy benefit was in a big box, a cardboard box he set over like a little table he was at, because he lifted it and you could see the stove in the background and shit.
Right.
Like, but it's all dark in there.
I love it.
I thought that was funny. That thing was a train wreck. Jesus Christ.
So's my life.
Bert Kreischer was talking to Adam Sandler, and it was the most awkward exchange. Like,
Oh, really?
Bert Kreischer was like, told him a story about him smoking weed with these chicks one time, and he had a chance to party with them and didn't, and he regretted it ever since.
Oh.
And Adam Sandler's like a family guy, so he's like, you know, like, he's like, fuck, don't, you're
Yeah.
just kind of snitching there a little bit.
It's like, bro.
That's my past. So he, like, you know, and Bert Kreischer makes it awkward and shit. And he's like, well, tonight's our night, buddy. Like,
Tiger Belly.
it was so fucking awkward. Tiger Belly's the best. I've been watching a lot of Stevie Weeby.
Stevie Weeby.
Stevie Weeby's fun. Yeah, I would say 8, 9, and 14 so far
Yeah, I like those.
are really good. We'll continue to have more. I don't know if we'll ever have guests. I don't see the need right now.
Well, when we get our upgrade, we'll at least be able to.
I'll consider it. I'll certainly consider it, but I don't know. I don't know who. I don't know who I would get. It'd have to be somebody interesting.
Would have to-
More
yeah.
interesting than us.
Right. So we'll have to go out on the crawl and.
I'd like to get somebody who's like, maybe even a health dude would be cool. Go somewhere and meet a like a health official or something that can talk about the shit's
only
going on. That'd be
only
cool.
if I can like crack jokes and shit.
Well, we would have to explain to whoever does it with us what this is. Like, you might even go
How
back
about
and
we don't?
don't have guests.
No. Just do it. Like, just go and
Just don't tell them.
go up to people like that we don't like.
Just random people.
Yeah, and just be like, why are you hurting people? Why are you? No, I'm so high right now. These are terrible ideas.
Have you seen
Oh.
Garth Brooks is very cringy, and Tom Segura and Christina Pazsitzky
Right.
on Your Mom's House? That's a bit they do. They look
Uh-oh.
at Garth Brooks and shit. He made it a thing to where all their fans are going to Garth Brooks's social media and commenting like, "Where are the bodies?" You know, because they call him a serial killer.
Yeah.
And Garth Brooks is a goofy motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's
Let's
out of
all
this
get
world.
together and touch each other.
Yeah, he's even weirder.
Yeah.
In this newer interview that happened a few weeks ago, he was like, she's like, "What is country music to you?" or some shit. And he's like, "Well, I think it's the common man's soul. You don't have to be listening to hear it." And all this shit. He just said this crazy, stupid. He just went off on this.
And the
Like,
thunder rolls.
He's trying to be philosophical.
And the lightning strikes, and every time that happens, country music.
I just remember one of his music videos being like a white piano in a white room with blood
Oh.
flooding the room
Oh,
and shit. It was
God.
weird.
You're not.
That might be Thunder Rolls.
You don't
ain't it?
have to listen to hear it.
Hold. Okay. You know what? You know what we're gonna
don't
do?
have to listen to hear it.
You know what we're gonna do? I
What?
want you to hear what he says. Okay.
Oh.
So, for the last 5 minutes, we're gonna do an outro with Garth Brooks.
Okay.
Okay. I want you to actually hear what he says because I was listening to it. I was like, what
And-
the fuck is he talking about? What a fucking freak! Like, he's trying so hard to relate.
I got friends in
Low
places,
places.
and the whiskey drowns in the beer.
Where is it? It's not just under.
Maybe it fell up your butt. You're never gonna find it. Give it up.
Yeah. Well, here it is. Here it
Oh.
is. Oh, that's an ad. Sorry. I'm not getting paid for this.
You had
I'm
one
sorry.
fucking job.
I'm sorry.
So what are you doing Monday night? Hollywood are going to be taking your
Captain
requests.
Nazi.
Their live stream concert last week, if you missed it, went so well, they're going to do it again, at least for the next few months. Brooks has a lot going on right now.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh,
What are you doing?
what are you doing?
I'm trying to get.
Are you putting that in your asshole? Quit doing that.
I'm trying to get this. I don't know if this is the interview, but let's look
On
into it.
PBS, he'll be honored with the Gershwin Prize by the
Fuck
Library
you,
of Congress.
PBS.
He spoke with our Nora O'Donnell before
I
we
love
all
PBS.
began social distancing.
What is it
Yeah.
about country music?
I don't know. It's almost like breathing in and breathing out, isn't it? You don't have to work to listen to it. And you don't even have to be listening to hear it. I think it's the voice of the common man's soul.
Okay, we didn't need
I
all that.
saw a tiger.
Isn't that some shit?
That's weird.
Who says things like that? Like it-
Charles Manson.
what are you, a fucking artist?
That's
doesn't
who
even
says
make
shit
sense.
like that.
That
That's-
doesn't even make sense.
I'm a fucking.
You don't even have to be listening to hear it.
I'm a boxcar and a Hawaiian. I'm
Did-
straight razor if you get too close.
They say Charles Manson was a CIA op.
Oh yeah. He's trying to do some helter skelter thing.
Race wars.
Yeah. But it was actually he was the destruction of his own demise. They were commissioning him to do this to end, so this would have a reason to enforce an end to the hippie
movement. Yeah.
Yeah, so he
That's-
was like his own fucking. But
Let's
I mean,
give a
he
round
was
for
obviously
hippies.
unsuccessful. Yep. Hippies 1,
hippies.
government 0.
Yeah.
Although that's probably
that's
not
the other
historically
way-
accurate.
Fuck, other way around, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, we'll end on that happy note. Fuck hippies.
Hippies. I like hippies.
You are a fucking hippie.
Well, it is what it is.
I'm gonna call you Moonchild from now on.
Oh,
This is the
don't-
Moonchild and
I
Cotter
will poke
podcast.
out your fucking eyes.
Sundance is what I'm gonna call you.
I will poke. We have to upgrade the video so these people,
They're gonna see
so
it.
these peoples can see how I'm fucking looking at you. I will rip out your goddamn eyes. I will.
I'm
And I
burning
will
a
feed
hole.
them. I will deliciously cook them up with herbs and spices and feed them to your children.
I'm gonna videotape you for my safety, and it's in the
Okay.
Constitution that I'm allowed to do that. So, good
Okay.
luck. Good luck fighting that in court.
I take it all back. I'm all for it.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Now we don't have to sue. Nobody's getting sued.
All right. No one's getting sued.
Okay. We're not going to sue anybody, ladies and gentlemen, but if you do not subscribe or like this video, we might sue. We might take legal action.
Yeah. Check out Anchor Fence and
This podcast was brought to you by Anchor Fence
mhm.
and
Don't forget it.
OPMS Kratom. Get it.
Get it.
We love you guys. Have a
Take
good
it
night.
easy.